Trade integrates the domestic food market with the world food market. The most important advantage of this integration is that supply shocks, such as drought, rarely affect all countries at the same time. Therefore, countries that engage in trade in food markets can stabilize supply without holding large reserves, which are expensive and often unreliable. Aiming for self-sufficiency in the food supply is a laudable goal. But for countries that don't produce enough food to meet domestic demand, striving for self-sufficiency through restrictions on trade may expose them to unforeseen risks in both supply and price. A recent synthesis of studies by Will Martin places some numbers on this claim. His methodology calculates the variance of production and price for several major grains such as rice, corn, and wheat. He then shows the effect of trade on this variance, taking account of differences in country size, which can affect their capacity to alter world aggregates. Countries that trade in food diversify their supply, reducing both supply variance and exposure to price shocks, as we can see from the numbers in the table. The number of 6.8 roughly means that trade helps spread the risk among 6.8 hypothetical countries of the same size instead of being concentrated within one country. It is important to notice that restrictions on food trade have larger relative impacts on the poor in affected countries. Poor households devote a relatively large share of total expenditures to food. This graph shows the percentage of expenditure on food and beverage of Thai households in 2004. Households in the bottom decile spend more than one-half of their budget on food, while the richest 10% spend only one-sixth of their budgets on food. Because of that, poor households are more vulnerable to higher prices or reduced supply. Studies of historical famines, such as that by Martin Ravalian's path-breaking book on Bangladesh, identify loss of purchasing power as the primary threat to poor households. Typically, their most pressing problem is not food availability, but access. Higher food prices act as a regressive tax, affecting poor households more than others. As such, they have a measurably large impact on poverty.